Continue to focus on one of the biggest court cases in our country. It is the trial against the 5 men accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa, continuing today. Yesterday, forensic officer Senzo Meyiwa took the stand in the High Court in Pretoria. Slindelo Masikane is still watching this case for us. Hello to you, Slee. Before we talk about what's coming up today, take viewers back to what we got out of court yesterday.
Well, yet another explosive day inside court yesterday, when the state's first witness was still under cross-examination by the defense, and that is Advocate Malisela Defo for accused 1 to 4. What Defo did yesterday was introduce a secondary docket, or another probe, which was looking into the Meyiwa murder. And in this particular probe, we call it the 375 docket. This docket labels those who were in the house as the ones who should be charged with the murder, as well as defeating the ends of justice with regards to how the crime scene was contaminated, and that is according to the defense. They introduced an affidavit by Mosia that was deposed by him in 2019 in relation to this secondary docket, where he does say in that affidavit that he does believe that there might have been a contamination of the scene, and that is given to the fact that there were so many hours, at least 4 hours, which passed in between the time that Meyiwa was shot as well as him actually being called to the scene. The defense went into a lot of detail, saying that they were going to bring witnesses that were going to testify to the fact that Meyiwa actually died on the scene, and that those who transported him to the hospital were not actually trying to save his life, but rather going to dump his body at the hospital mortuary. So that secondary docket labels those who were in the house as the ones who should be charged. The case that we're seeing unfolding here in this trial is the 636 docket, which labels the 5 men accused here as the ones who have a case to answer to.
And now we look ahead to what's going to be, I'm sure, another busy day in court. I see you're inside already. What are we expecting? Because we'll have regular updates, of course, throughout the day.
So Thabo Mosia will be back in the witness box for the continuation of cross-examination. We understand that Advocate Malisela Defo says he needs about 10 more minutes with this particular witness, who he has actually labeled, Gareth, as unreliable, saying that the court cannot actually take anything that he says here in his testimony. They can't put any weight to it, because he's been quite contradictory and saying that he's also been quite evasive. So we're going to see Defo once more resuming with his cross-examination, but at some point we're then going to see the lawyer for accused number 5, that is Advocate Zandile Mshololo, for accused number 5 cross-examining Mosia. Then of course there'll be re-examination by the state, and it remains to be seen if we'll actually get to another witness today.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day in court, looks like, for this witness later in the morning. Slindelo Masikane, appreciate the update, looking back to yesterday and what is going to be happening in court for the Senzo Meyiwa court case starting a bit later this morning. Let's take